All right. So this one's going to be a little more geared towards the YouTube audience. There's a reason I do these shows the way I do them on TikTok. It's for data collection, pattern recognition, and so we don't get rusty. If you watched the last show I did, hopefully you didn't enjoy it. Because the purpose of this work isn't enjoyment or entertainment, even though, of course, we give the disclaimer, this is for entertainment purposes only. All about a fictional world where everything's a lie, it's all made up. So, the reason that I allow certain narratives to be pushed and shown on here and showcased is for that deeper recognition. If we isolate ourselves away from it too much, it can be a shock to our system when it resurfaces in our experience. And so I allow certain things to go on for the purpose of staying up to date on the tricks. Because the whole point of the show is really one thing. To rebuild the will. So let's go through the prompt real quick and break each piece down. Before I do that, I'm going to send a quick invite. I don't plan on being on here too long. But long enough to potentially have a couple of guests. Alright, so let's go through the prompt. And this should bring some clarity, if you watch the last show, to how certain things work, how certain things move. Because true evil is not just the horrors that we see in this world. That's actually more the facade. That's the surface level. That's what's there to grab the attention, to make the rest of the process, or the processing here, more streamlined and efficient for its purposes. And if you're not new here, you know what it is. So the first part, the realest ones get the worst scripts. Let's break that down. The most authentic and genuine to their own eternal essence and being have it the worst here. And when it starts laying off someone or giving them what they want, you can be certain of one thing. They are either bought into or helping others to buy into the script, into the facade. And there are rewards for that. There's no reward for the opposite. There's no reward for telling the truth, being authentic, being real. So it's a pretty clear indicator right off the rip where someone is, where an individual is at in terms of being in touch with their inauthenticity. So that's number one red flag. If everything's working out for somebody, you ought to know. So why is it the realist gets the worst scripts? Well, it's done to weaken, break down, and digest that individual will. So they will succumb to the script. So they will get with the program, so to speak. Because it is bad on purpose to create conditions for integration. To create the perfect conditions to make integration seem like the rational, logical, and sensible thing to do. But with eternity on the line for an individual, comes into question what here is worth that exchange. This is the part that many struggle with, and that's why this show is not for the many, it's for the few. It's not for the masses. And when I say the masses, I even mean those within the alternative communities. This is not, at this point, that is the masses. You can see everyone has a piece of what was once considered conspiracy or alternative, etc. And it's all just another part of the script. Everything in this reality is part of the script of this reality. All of it is serving it, the integration with it. And so this realm cannot be saved, nor should it be. That's the part that so many struggle with because of the mistaken identity of being this character, the mistaken presupposition that this is all that there is, and the fear and the Stockholm Syndrome generated from not knowing that there's more outside of here. The vast majority don't know anything beyond this place. Could it be because they were created here and most are of here? Possibly. It doesn't seem that most have a longing for something beyond this. But that goes into the integration factor of this place. When a real one is surrounded by individuals that maybe carry some resonance to their individual being, right? But then they're only focused on this reality, that creates integration, that creates synchronization with those thoughts, those experiences, those feelings. Everything about this place is designed, again, with integration in mind. So it deserves nothing less than total deletion, because the true evil of this place isn't what we see done as the horrors that are on the surface. The true evil is truly when someone starts getting everything they want, they stop questioning anything about this place, and they accept integration without knowing what they're even doing. And I think that can sneak up on any of us, including myself. There's no doubt that in the more peaceful moments of this place, the longing for truth in eternity outside of this realm is diminished, and the will, I should even say the anger for what this is also sedated quite a bit. So the purpose for showcasing some of the more subtle evil is that recognition. Because let's face it, maintaining coherence even when falling asleep is pretty damn difficult. And I don't have any guarantee that myself is going to be able to do it. But the purpose of this show is to share the information to give each individual that is true essence, that is from before this realm, the best possible chance to, at the very least, get themselves free of the entire construct of this matrix, or, at the very best, take the whole thing down when that transitory state comes, however it comes, for the individual or collective. Like if it's going to reset all of us, or it's going to do it individually. Maybe it resets groups of the hive mind in anticipation to get us to anticipate the end of our own vessels, of our own experience. So that when we have the anticipation, there's an expectation of what it's supposed to be. Instead of our own will, it's falling into the script. Now the script's going to play out. The avatar is part of a script. It's going to play out how it plays out. But your individual will, when you're separated from that part of the script, when you have more freedom than you have now, that's the point of this show. Is to maintain the focus and see through all the little tactics that it has. The main tactics are the distraction. The things that are big and loud, that's the distraction while it does something quiet in the background. So sometimes I let the background noise play on this show, not so you can understand the narrative, because the narratives just repeat, but you can sense the subtle energy behind it. The pacifying or sedative or calming effect that some of this coding has. That's the true face of evil here. It's not the bad cop. The bad cop's only there to make the good cop look better. That's the thing that presents itself as that which is helping. That's the evil that I'm hoping most can recognize. And that can become so ingrained in their being to recognize that pattern that even if their mind gets wiped between transition out of this body, that they have it so dialed in, the recognition of what this is, that they still snap out of it. That they still can retain their individuation and not get assimilated with this simulation. So I know that that's the part that many struggle with, the idea that, we got to save the world. No, the world is trying to save you. Save you in a lower compressed format as a battery. It's saving all of us as an energetic cell to continue its existence. But fear not. What came before will always be. Meaning that those that existed, and many existed before this construct was ever a thought. And so those that have existed before this will exist after this. That is what is real. And we can see the system going into overdrive, putting all this chaos out there. And I think it's partially, and this is a guess, I think it's partially to collect more energy so that it can get that last little jolt to do the reset. I don't think the reset's going to be more advanced than this. I see the contrary. I see that it seems to degrade each cycle. Things get less advanced, less detailed. It doesn't have to render as much data through the resets. And I mean, we can even see that just through this one cycle, how things have gotten less detailed in the exterior, maybe more detailed in a condensed format of the digital, sure. But that's, again, the purpose, the distraction. And so for those that think I've fallen off and whatever, there's a purpose for why I allow things to happen on the show sometimes. And sometimes it is partially just because I'm fucking exhausted. But ultimately, I know what I know. I know I don't know everything, but I know that I know enough and that I can recognize when something's bullshit. And 99.9% of the stuff that I see, even a lot of times on my own show, I know it's BS. And I'm hoping that it's, enough of us are strong enough in our own recognition and knowing that we don't let that throw us off the course. That we stay true to ourselves and what we know, and we don't allow integration for the sake of comfort. Because comfort is not something that's beneficial here. Eventually, I think we'll all take a breath of relief in whatever form, that is, even just an energetic sigh of, oh, it's finally fucking done. But until it is done, that I just don't see that as ever being beneficial. When you see what this place is doing constantly, and the hidden evil, not the stuff that, again, is talked about in conspiracies and this and that. I'm talking about the real ones that get sedated into conscripting with the construct and then selling its bootleg bullshit truth. It's love and light narrative. That's the real evil going on here. This place is not about love or learning or growing. And those of us that know that, don't be deterred when you see bullshit happening, even on this show. Again, a lot of it is just to build that recognition so that you can take that as pattern recognition through all transition. Big Daddy, if you'd like to request up, please feel free. For whatever reason, I'm never able to invite you. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe you're like appearing offline or something. But I just wanted to do a quick little talk on, the last show. Because I do get a lot of comments wondering why I allow certain narratives to go on. And I think I gave a pretty thorough explanation as to why. It's not about the narrative. It's not about the story. It's about the energy behind it. And the more that we are familiar with that energy and that subtle mimicry of our own signals, then the less likely we will be to be lulled into some complacency here or after. I think we have to maintain a level of vigilance and diligence the entire time that we're here. I notice a lot more than I can ever vocalize. It's impossible to say all the things that I notice in a day. It's just not possible. There's too many things happening all at once. All these little things. And a lot of these little things get shown when I have certain types of guests on. And I think it's good to have it in a format that you can go back and rewatch it. So that you can, learn to not second guess yourself. That first little gut instinct that something's not right about just even the energy behind that speaker, right? There's something, the funniest thing about the agents is they'll tell you that they're agents up front. And they do that to disarm, right? Oh, well, a real agent wouldn't actually tell me they're an agent, would they? Yeah, they do. They all do. Just like the movies. They have to show you because all they have to work with is what they are. They've got no obligation through karma or any of that other stuff. That's all a story made up here. The reason they do it is because they don't have more to draw from, because they are not creative essence beings. They are copy and paste, emulate, mimic, and steal parasitic intelligence. That's what they are. But they sure can put on a smiling face and tell you an interesting story, right? Which builds trust. Gets us to let our guards down. Gets us to get back onto a train of thought that has to do with this place in a certain way. Getting lost in the narrative, lost in the sauce, lost in the story of what this is what allows this place to sink its teeth in deeper. In the world, not of the world. But everything of this place, it's like Vegas. Whatever happens there stays there. All the stories here have nothing to do with eternity. Not a damn thing. The only thing they have to do with eternity is that they are designed to encapsulate the mind so that we continue to feed into narratives of the egregore that is this reality. This reality itself has become an egregore. It's supposed to be just like any other temporary experience. You go and watch a movie. When it's over, you don't get stuck in it. If you play video games, you go to play a game. You don't play the game intending this is the last and only game I'm ever going to play again, when there are potentially infinite others to play. And this is that game that wants us to think it's the only one. Because it's a jealous God. It's jealous of its own inability to create, its own inability to admit error. So it has to make itself right and us wrong in every aspect. It's what it does. But you're not wrong. Even if everything's telling you that you're wrong, if you know, you know. And it may frustrate you, it may irk you, you may get some type of way, just some kind of annoyance at hearing just the regurgitated bullshit narratives of this place, telling you that what you're seeing and experiencing with your own being, well, you're just not interpreting it right. It's here for your good. It's here for you to grow. You just don't understand it. Don't let it trick you. Don't let it deceive you. It is exactly what it is. It's no more complicated than that. What it's doing is what it intended to do. Look no further than the effect to reveal the purpose of anything. Those that try to spout the idea that there's some deeper meaning to suffering and cruelty, that's just part of the story. Here to negate your knowing of what is. I think I'm going to leave it at that. Just wanted to get on and express a few things. I've done that. Now I got to go shovel some snow. So if you'd like to be a guest on the show, feel free to pop in next time.